Thank you for coming to my apartment for this. This is one of the podcasts that I've been super excited for all day.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I feel special.
Well, it's cool. It's not, I had different women on here before, so I'm comfortable talking to women, but I feel like your position is a little unique. So before we get into all that, please introduce yourself and we'll go from there and what you do.
Oh, okay. My name is Destiny. I go by Princess Destiny on Instagram, and I work for a princess company.
Lovely. So being a princess and working for this princess company, how did you get involved in that? Like, that's not something a lot of people hear about.
Oh, thank you. It's kind of a long story. It started off as cosplay.
Okay.
Because I remember whenever I watched
If you just want to hold this.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm cheap, so I don't want to buy a new.
No, you're good, brother. So when I first saw the trailer to Moana, I remember thinking to myself, I was like, hey, that girl kind of looks like me. Wouldn't it be funny if I just like dressed up like her and posted pictures on the internet like as a joke? And so I did, and it kind of blew up, and then I was just like, oh, I should keep this going.
Yeah.
And so then I bought a Princess Jasmine costume and a Pocahontas costume and posted those in different groups.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to my first Comic-Con. It was Tokyo and Tulsa.
Mm-hmm.
And there I met, I went there dressed as Moana, and it was like a huge thing. Like, it kind of scared me at first because people were like forming a line just to take photos with me, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is weird.
That's
I feel
dope.
like I'm Justin Bieber or something. But then when I was at that convention, these people came up to me and they were like, hey, you ever thought about dressing up like this for money? And I was like, oh, say less. Like, what? That's a thing?
Right. I've done a lot less for a lot less money as well.
Yeah.
So if I could dress up, guys, I would definitely take that. So, no, that's wonderful. Were you into princesses when you were a little girl, or how did that...
Yes.
That's
my
wonderful.
family has called me Princess Destiny since I was like a little girl. Like, this
That's
is a
dope.
thing.
No, I mean, and that's just a wonderful thing. It's speaking light into your child.
Yes,
especially for you're black, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Especially for little black girls, and that was a big thing that I wanted you to speak about. Not having that representation when we were younger. I'm pretty sure we're close to the same age. Mm-hmm. I don't know if we had a black princess back in the day.
No, besides like Pocahontas, but that came out in '95.
Yeah.
Or like Jasmine.
Okay, yes, them too. So,
but they were brown. They weren't like African American.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, because Pocahontas was native, right? Mm-hmm. And then Jasmine was Indian.
Mm-hmm. Like Middle Eastern.
Yeah, so not having this representation, how did you fall in love with the character? Like, how did you look at them and then look at yourself and say, I am a princess, even though these girls don't look like me?
Oh, the white princesses?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I always loved certain ones. Like, I loved Ariel growing up just because, like, I liked her, like, spirit and how she was, like, so creative and she had a certain drive to do what she wanted to do. And I loved Mulan a lot. And so I think I liked their personalities, even though I couldn't, like, identify with them, like, physically.
For sure. So when you were younger, were you always a dress-up type of girl, or is it really? That's wonderful.
I loved Halloween growing up. Like, my family would encourage it. Like, we would do like family Halloween costumes. Like, one year we all dressed up like the Incredibles.
That's super
cool.
cool.
We would like coordinate.
Yeah. See, I didn't really have that a lot as a kid, like the family unity. So when I got older and started seeing like different families act a certain way, I'm like, oh, this is something that I inspired to do. So seeing that you go to other like little girls' birthday parties,
yes,
correct? Sir. So when did that first come about? Because was it from the company? Do they like hire you? Okay, that's really cool. Sorry, I told you if I get nervous.
No, you're fine.
So with this company, do you see yourself there long term, or how does this?
Yes, but this is also like an acting role. Like, I can't play a 16-year-old character for long. You know what I mean? So like eventually this is going to end. So like until that time.
Yeah. So what is the biggest thing that you've noticed in your time dressing up as different characters, especially from the girls who look like you, or maybe even the girls who don't look like you? Like, oh, mom, she's a princess. Like, that's all they see, and I feel like
they don't question it. You know what I mean? Like, I did a party as Belle from Beauty and the Beast, and I just told them I'm Belle, and they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, they don't really like care.
So where do you think that comes from? The ignorance when a lot of people get older to be like, well, this character doesn't look this way, therefore you cannot dress that way.
Wow,
and like, I'm a big anime fan, and I I love black women. So
Yeah.
when I see different black women dress up and people will be like, oh, that's not the actual character. Well, sweetheart, they're Japanese. So
Yeah, she can be black today.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Best thing ever. So have you gotten any of those like negative comments in your experience of doing? See, that's wonderful.
Sorry.
No, it's cool.
No.
You know, I'm just trying to navigate my way through through these questions. I was like, oh, I got some good questions for her. I don't. I'm sorry.
No, you're totally fine. I love to like dress up as like the traditionally white characters because I feel like it like brings like representation towards other
Yeah.
like
So-
little girls. But I've seen it the other way around where like white girls would be like, well, how come it's fair for you to dress up as Cinderella, but if I dress up as Moana, it's wrong.
Yeah.
So like, and my response to that is mostly because if you think about it, every POC princess, their story revolves around their ethnicity. Like Mulan has to be Chinese or it doesn't make sense. Moana has to be a Pacific Islander or the story doesn't make sense.
Right.
You know what I mean? But Belle, she could be Middle Eastern and it's still like the story doesn't affect her ethnicity at all.
Right.
And so, yeah.
See, I never thought of it that way. That's
Right?
a really
Yeah.
good way to think
That's not
of
a
it.
coincidence. Like Disney does things like
Right. And that's the thing, especially when people got upset with
that. Hallie?
yes.
Yeah.
That right there blew my mind because I understood what it meant for little girls who look like her. But for the people who took something that's not even real, like
A mermaid?
yeah, I mean they could be real. It's a different topic for a different time. But yes, a character that was meant for children and then they took it personally.
Yeah,
What do you think goes on in those people's minds? Because I always trying to look at two sides, like because I was raised by my mom's white, so I was raised by white people. It wasn't the best of times because you know the whole identity thing. But regardless of what I perceived as a kid, when I got older, I'm like, okay, I'm a black man, so I'm going to move accordingly. I'm going to think accordingly to what I identify as. But I never understood when somebody looked at a group of people and was like, well, this is not right for you guys to do so. And I'm like, well, why? You know, I grew up around these people, like they loved me. So for other people to think differently is weird. So what do you think goes on to in adults' minds that will shame other people for just trying to be happy?
I don't know. I think it comes like, it's going to sound like such a mom answer, but it's going to come from like anger and bitterness towards themselves and like something that like they haven't addressed is something that's helping other children be happy makes you that upset, then that's like, you know, a you problem.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I have a black woman series called Ebony Experience on my podcast. And since I feel like we answered all of the princess questions in my opinion. I feel like that was yeah, I mean it was a little, so I don't plan out my questions at all.
Okay.
But I feel like I want to get to know you a little bit more because the dressing up, like you said, was a character. You can't play that character forever.
Yeah, till the end of time.
Yeah, so I want to get to know Destiny. So Destiny, when you were a little girl, minus the princess and the fairy tale wedding or all that fun stuff, what did you enjoy to do?
Let's see. Me and my little brother, we grew up homeschooled, so like he was the only friend I had basically growing up, and so we would like make little games around the house. I enjoyed doing that, and we would watch like movies. We were like a Disney family, so we would do that. Always loved art. So I was always creating. I like taught myself how to like cross stitch and crochet when I was
phenomenal,
little.
by the way, guys.
Oh, thank you.
Phenomenal. I can't draw. You probably hear this all the time. I can't draw stick figures to save my life.
Yeah, it just takes practice.
No.
Like I've been drawing for a long time.
Yeah, no, that's what they tell me, and you know, I just don't.
I'll say you're creative in other ways.
Thank you. So that's wonderful. Do you think? So when did you finally go to public school, or did you stay homeschooled the whole time?
No, I was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, and I was homeschooled out there. And then when we moved down to Oklahoma is when I started going to like public school. And I started going to public school, and then I went to a Christian private school, and then like back to public school again. So we moved around a lot. Yeah.
So being only secluded with your brother and your family, moving to a whole new state around a whole new people who probably don't understand the dynamics of your family and how you guys work. Because I know a lot of kids that I went to school with, single parents or lived in the hood. Like these are all the people that I've known. So was that a big transition for you to be like, this is who we are, but now I'm dealing with a whole different group of people that probably are not as happy or as loving to other people, or
especially because my dad was a pastor, so part of the reason why we were homeschooled is that we would go on mission trips throughout the country with him, so we were like very religious, and, like, we never saw Harry Potter and like stuff like that. And also in Georgia, everyone looks like us. Okay, so that was one thing that was like a shock. So we'd come and we went to this church out in Sand Springs. And so we'd go to Walmart and people would be looking and we're just like, yes, we're free. Like, I don't know.
That's hilarious. So me and my family are originally from California, but I was raised here. And my mom, she tells me I had real bad asthma when I was younger. And she was like, you were having an asthma attack, and we went to the hospital and they were like, how long have you had him? As if I was adopted. And I was like, damn, this is normal back where we're from, you know, because
like mixed family.
Yeah, so it was really odd just to, I don't know, see the ignorance of people.
Yeah, and the assumptions.
Yeah. How did your family adapt to that? Did you guys just stay true to who you are, or did you have to learn a different way of approaching people or dealing with some negativity?
Basically just like stayed true to who we were.
Yeah.
We didn't really like change. Like, we were still like going to church and stuff.
For sure. So I've done a lot of mission trips when I was younger.
Oh, when really? I was younger. Wow, you know that life.
Yeah, it's really tough. A lot of,
do you have a testimony that you would go and share?
Right now? Yeah.
No, you gotta share it now. I'm just like, do you have like I never did. I was like goody, and I would feel bad when everyone would share their like life-changing testimonies. I was like, dang, I need to go leave the church for a couple of years to get a testimony and come back.
See, that's
like,
what I thought.
Christian.
Right. Okay, so I didn't have sex for like until I was 20 or whatever the case may be. I didn't do the traditional boy things or whatever.
Yeah.
So when I did go to church, I would act one way, but of course I grew up in the hood, so I tried to be a different type of individual, and it kind of got to where like I was getting negative feedback from my family, from my friends, and from everybody who was like, oh, you're supposed to be this church guy, you're supposed to be this, and this, and it really ruined me for a long time. Wow. Not in the sense of like walking away from God, but just who am I? You feel me? So when I met my son's mom, I was still confused about who I am. I believed one thing, acted a different way, but I had to eventually grow up at a certain point. Started doing podcasting and was like, you know what, who am I? How am I going to live my life? How am I going to continue to be a man that is pleasing for myself and for God as well? And now having a son, it's like, well, damn, I'm running out of time. So, yeah, I mean, it wasn't really a life-changing thing. I already knew what direction I was wanting to go. It was moving away from the stigma of being a Christian and the stigma of being just a ghetto little boy. Yeah. And I became my own man. So it really wasn't a life-changing thing.
That's a testimony.
Oh, well, thanks. I still am a nerd. I still don't do really hardly anything.
Yeah, no, same.
But yeah, you know, just sit your ass. So, I mean, I guess we can go that route since we're here. What is one of the mission trips that you have been on that was eye-opening for you?
Well, I've seen like miracles happen, like in front of me, where like someone would like come in with a cane and then leave it, like those type of things. Because my dad would travel with a group called the Power Team, and so they would do like feats of strength, and then it was like a huge thing in like the 90s and early 2000s, and so yeah, we would see like things like that happen all the time.
That's really cool. See, I don't know. Like I've been to, again, I was raised by white people and I went to a white church. When I finally went to a black church, I'm like,
that's a whole new world. Isn't it?
I was like, what is this? What language is this lady speaking? Because she just told me
white
hi.
Church, like I like it because it starts on time and it ends on time. You know what I mean? Like you know what time you're getting out.
For
there.
Sure.
Black church is like, okay,
yeah,
you may as well order a pizza.
Goodness, like what I know, white people like football, so it's like we're gonna start at 11,
yeah,
and end at 12 because my football team starts at 2:00.
Yeah,
they got to eat and all that fun stuff. But black people was like, we have VHS now or whatever it is when you record the
DVR.
There we are. We have DVR now, so you guys can sit for the Lord. This is the Lord's day. We ain't watching no football, but no, that's exciting. So. I'm sorry, I'm trying to form this question. So growing up in a place that is the Bible Belt, so to say, and people, they're accurate accurate representation for Jesus is a white man. So
Yeah.
you guys believe in God and Jesus. How was that for you guys, knowing that, well, we both believe in the same thing, but you guys are still mean to us or seeing these certain or saying these certain things about us? How did that strengthen or weaken your faith at a certain point, if it did? Because it did for me a lot.
I'm not sure it did.
Okay. Well, for me, so I believe that the people in the Bible were black.
Yeah.
There's a lot of truths that are in it that happen to us. But I see all these white Christians or Trump supporters who said, God, Trump, and country. And I'm just like,
Oh, yeah, they don't know.
yeah, do you really think Jesus would be like, yeah, you guys are good Americans treating these people like second-class citizens? Or you guys are phenomenal not letting people who are running from war or whatever the case may be into your country. So to me, that was a big thing. And I had to find, I'm glad I found this way of thinking, because now it makes me feel important. It makes me feel loved, rather than praying to a white man and then going out and somebody call me a mean word.
Yeah.
So it was just something that I wanted to ask, because for a lot of people, faith is a really big thing, and it's an important thing.
Yeah, I didn't know you were religious too. I was like, I got my bachelor's from ORU.
Oh, really?
So, I'm deep.
See, I wasn't the smartest kid, but I did go to Booker T. So
okay.
Yeah, shout out to
shout
them.
Out, Hornets.
Yes,
I went to Union.
That makes sense. You're super smart. I wish I would have went to Union. Their damn football stadium is like a college football stadium.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah, they take it seriously. Like, if you don't go to the game, you're like not cool.
That's hilarious. So now that you're in, did you start middle school here when you came, or high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to Carver, and then I transferred to Victory Christian School.
Oh,
and
okay.
I stayed there for a couple of years, and then I went back to public school.
See, I didn't go to Carver. I lived out north, so I could have went to Carver, but all my family and friends were on the west side of Tulsa, so I went to school out there, and then, of course, Booker T. So Carver, that's predominantly a black school, right?
Yeah.
So did you feel more like you belonged now that you were... it was
No,
different?
I was bullied hard.
Really?
The girls hated me.
Because you were a princess. That's
yeah.
why.
Yeah. That's
They saw it. You probably didn't see it yet.
Thank you. That's very sweet. Yeah.
For sure.
I love that.
Yeah, so middle school, so like I said, all the kids that I went to school with basically grew up on the west side of Tulsa. So I went to school with a lot of my friends. So I didn't really get bullied ish.
Oh,
Like sixth grade, when people didn't know me, I had super long hair and I was really big. So they thought I was a girl. So people would, my mom thought it was a good idea to have long hair in middle school. So
I'm sure it looks good.
no, it looks fine.
I like your curls.
Thank you. I'm rocking the man bun now. I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, shout out to Shikamaru, my favorite Naruto character.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I wanted to marry Rock Lee.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, I liked his design in Shippuden when he was a kid. I'm hating the Boruto.
I haven't gotten that far. I'm in the middle of Shippuden right now.
Really?
Yeah, but that's cool. Shikamaru is like my second favorite.
Good.
Because he's like, this is a drag. Like, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like...
That's my life. Like,
Yeah.
I hate podcasting when I have to set it up and network, but when I'm here, I'm like, I could do it.
Yeah, this is a vibe.
Yeah, I feel like that's what his thing is.
Is this like your favorite anime?
So it is the anime that I'm currently on. So I have this big thing to where when I start a new anime, it's my favorite thing in the world.
Oh, okay.
But
I love that.
yeah.
You have obsessions?
Yes, well,
Yeah.
because I burnt myself out on Naruto. Watched it so many times,
Yeah,
played
you
so many
can.
games. I was like, I don't know if I'm enjoying
It's
this.
like 500 episodes.
Right?
You
It's
can.
like-
Yeah.
it's
I
like-
devoted last year to that show.
For sure. I skipped all the fillers, by the way.
You did? I
Yeah.
should have done that. But I was like, well, you get to learn more about the characters.
See, what used to make me upset is when filler characters are like, all right, we'll see you later. I'm like, you'll never be in another episode.
Oh, you knew?
Yeah.
I couldn't foreshadow that. I was
Oh.
just like, oh, well, I hope we see that girl number 3.
Yeah. Girl number 3 who got in trouble stealing some apples, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I fell in love with this one a lot quicker, I felt like, for the sense of the diversity of each character. I feel like, I mean, even you can do that in Naruto, but again, burnt out. But yeah, just each character has its own feel to the team. And even when they got new members, I'm like, okay, I don't know if I like this new person, but the way the writer fitted them. That's fitted them is a correct word, right? Fitted them into the into the crew and all that fun stuff. I'm like, this is enjoyable, and their carefreeness and just everything about it was really phenomenal. And are you a One Piece fan as well?
Yeah, I watch it. I'm not. You're probably way further, and I'm on episode 74, so like you can't like respect me yet.
No, I'm not gonna say I don't respect you, but damn.
People are just like,
yeah, well,
I'm on episode 900, babe.
Yeah, I am.
Are you actually? Yeah. Wow.
900 on the dot. Like.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
What are the odds of that? Man. So is this like, what is your favorite anime? Can I ask like when I flip the interview.
No, it's fine. Please ask me questions.
Let me tell you mine.
Please.
My Hero Academia.
I'm watching that right now. Actually,
really?
I'm on the part where Might Guy just beat. All for
Might?
One. Yeah, All Might just beat All for
he's
One.
my guy too.
Yep. So he just beat All for One or One for All.
I know what you mean.
Yes, the bad guy, and he's talking to Midoriya, I believe his name is.
The green hair?
Yep, yeah. That's where I stopped at, and then I think they're about to do
Bakugo.
Yeah, so I enjoy his character because he's kind of like a Vegeta character in Dragon Ball.
Okay, yeah.
I just don't like his costume. I don't know why.
Oh,
it's just
is
something.
it the cannons?
Yeah, see, the cannons are cool. I think it's the spikes.
Yeah, he's so like punk.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is real. I feel like that just brings his character alive because I feel like to make a good anime, you need opposites. Goku, Vegeta, Sasuke, Naruto, and Bakugo and Midoriya.
Wow, that's good. I never noticed that.
Yeah, and what I've noticed, and I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but Sasuke and Naruto are literally complete opposites. So one's right-handed, the other one's left-handed. One's the light, the other one's dark. And I'm like, these characters, and they say opposites attract. They did not like her. Sasuke did not like Naruto. So
yeah, no, he didn't like anybody really.
Yeah, that's the reason I don't like him. I don't like any Uchiha.
Oh, really? No, I don't like Sasuke.
But okay, Itachi is an exception, but all the other Uchihas, because they're the only clan that if they experience like trauma, they overreact. So like when Rin died, Obito created a war. When Sasuke's family died, he just shut off everybody. So it was really difficult to get to like the Uchihas, because I'm like, y'all just need to calm down. But no, that's phenomenal. So back to middle school. We just went on the train. No, it's all right.
We're talking about anime.
We can literally talk about anime all the time. But yes, back in high school, or middle school, excuse me, being bullied, how did you deal with that? Because I know that's really tough, especially like I said, coming from a family who only showed you love, and now you're in a new spot. It's like, ladies,
I remember being very confused because I'm like, I just got here and I'm nice to you, and why are you being mean to me when I'm nice to you?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't understand that girls will just not like you just for no reason.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. So it had to do a lot of like work in myself to like build that self-esteem.
For sure. So in Georgia, you said a lot of people look like you. Was that black community stronger in Georgia, do you believe, than here, or?
I mean, no, I think it's like about the same. If anything, it's stronger here.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, because I was thinking, I'm putting myself in the mindset of these children who are mean, and sometimes it's more of a deeper level. Oh, yeah. Like stuff.
So they see something in yourself that they want or don't like.
Exactly. And I feel like that's how you kill two birds with one stone. You make the black people poor, and you make them hate each other, so they can't build or grow with each other. And I feel like that was just a big thing. Yeah, that was just a big thing that I've noticed. And once I got older, I'm like, this needs to stop. It needs to end, because what is the difference between us two? Like, if nothing, we're stronger together. And I don't know if you probably heard about the Tulsa race riot.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
And I feel like that, and I feel like that right there was the master plan of individuals who saw the strength of community, and they were like, nah, we can't have that. Therefore, the North Side suffered tremendously. Now it's probably a lot better. You see in Black Unity, but especially at that time, it's like we got nothing. We have nothing to look forward to. So all we can be is hood, so to say. So I can see why, some girls or boys would treat others different because it's like that's all we know to be mad at is people who look like us. I don't know if you saw I think it was called the doll test or whatever it was called. They set a black doll and a white doll together and asked little kids who was the bad doll and who was the good doll. And they had white kids and black kids, and all of the children chose the black doll to be the bad kid. Who was the good kid? Everybody chose the white kid. So it would make sense that our children will feel that way
about
every day.
Themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's what really breaks my heart.
And sometimes it's like you could have been any girl, any new girl. It wasn't you personally. It was just we saw that we should hate each other.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. So moving into Victory Christian, that's predominantly white, correct?
Yes.
Oh, goodness. I wish I could have went to a
white Christian school? No, you don't.
No. I wish I could have, but then I was like, nah, I'm cool. I don't know if I would have fit in because, again, just struggling. Like I would have tried to be that, but I couldn't have.
But it was hard because a lot of kids would make like microaggressions or like little like things, but it's like they don't know any better. You know what I mean? Like we're kids. I'm the first black person you've talked to in your life. You know what I mean? Like. So they would just assume things or believe stereotypes, I guess. I should say.
Well, I feel like that's what's beautiful about black women. It's not these people are not upset with you. I feel like they're upset that they can't be you.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not saying other races are not beautiful because they are.
Yeah.
But there's something about black women that's like, damn, that's admirable to us.
Oh.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I can see where it's like, oh, is your hair real? Or you really don't have to do this to look that, like...
Oh, I see what you're saying. So it's more of like an admiration.
Right, yeah. And I feel like that's why I want to hold our people such to a higher standard, because you see the influence and the representation that other cultures take from us. Like, the Asians now are really good at... was it break dance, whatever it is.
Yeah.
The Jabberwockies were a big thing back when I was younger, and now you see like all these white girls, white boys doing TikTok dances that are made by black people. So it confused me my whole childhood, my whole teenage years. Is like, why don't these people like us? Well, I see why now.
Yeah.
Remember, I don't know if you remembered or on TikTok. I'm not a lot on TikTok, but the black influencers stopped making dances, and
they went on strike. Yeah,
and these white girls tried to do the like the dance trends.
Oh,
it was something, and people were making fun of it. Like, these girls have no rhythm,
right? Because they just like steal.
Yeah, and again, we love everybody on here, but I love black women a lot more, so we're gonna praise them up as much as possible. But yeah, so did you have an easier time connecting with people who believed in the same thing, or the little girls who looked like you? So when you were at Carver and then Victory, which one was harder?
I feel like both were for like different reasons, because at Victory I felt like I didn't fit in. You know what I mean? Like, we would be in history class, the teacher would talk about slavery, and everyone turns and like glances at me. You know, like, how do you think that makes me feel? Like,
right.
Like, oh gee, thanks guys.
Yeah.
You know, so just stuff like that would happen at the white school, but at the black school, like, none of the black girls would talk to me. You know what I mean? So it's just like I don't fit in either one way.
Yeah. So how did you, it may be a recurring question, but how did you stay true to yourself? Because it's like, I don't fit in anywhere. How do I
guess it's basically like, I don't know. I just always like I always had self-esteem, but I think a lot of it came from like the praise that I would get at the home. Like, my dad would always tell me, like, you're beautiful, God made you special, he loves you, we love you, da da da. And he would always encourage my gifts, like art and whatnot. So I just always believed like I was special, and like, you know, anyone who says otherwise is like, eh.
See,
and that's why, like, building your child up from a young age really helps them.
Right. Yeah, so I'm actually starting a new series called Still and Talk, and it's going to be my version of a therapy session.
Wow,
and,
okay.
Yeah, and it's going to be about people talking about their childhood trauma. And with mine, it was a lot of mental abuse. So you're fat, you're not good enough, just other things of that nature.
Sorry.
Oh, you know, it's okay. I lost 80 pounds now, so I'm not as
Congratulations. I saw your weight loss journey on Facebook. I was like, that's really inspiring.
Oh, well, thank you. But yeah, so that really held me down from doing a lot of things. And that's why I search for happiness in church, you know, because they say come as you are, or they say all these things, and I wanted to be like that. So when I inspired to be something different, my parents and family members would be like, well, why do you care for them so much, and we're the ones who take care of you? It wasn't that I loved them more, as they showed me something different. They showed me what true love and family orientation was supposed to be like.
Yeah.
So I strived to be that way. But I just couldn't break the habit of what I've been taught or what I've been accustomed to. You know, that's why I feel like my relationship with my son's mom took the turn for the worse, because I found the negative traits that my mom had. I found them in her. Not like I wanted to. It was self-consciously that, oh, this feels normal. She says she loves me, but still will treat me a certain way. So that's why I get to a point to where I feel like, dang, I don't know if I can show another woman something more, because I didn't
receive that growing up.
Yeah, that, or I don't feel like I should, in the fact of, why does another girl get the best of me when she got the worst?
Wow.
And that's the things that I struggle with, because it's like comfortability and happiness. You know, happiness comes with being uncomfortable, you know, and venturing into new things. Like podcasts, even though speaking to people came easy for me, I still had to reach out to people. I still had to put myself in places where I had to meet different people. So I don't know where we're going with this, but
no, I'm listening.
But yes, so that was the big thing of just trying to balance my life out.
Yeah.
So when you finally got to high school, did you have this idea of who you are, who you wanted to be, or was it still like, damn, I still don't fit in? Like, what am I going to do now that I'm becoming a woman?
Yeah, probably. I never felt like I fit in at high school either.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you fit in now?
I mean, no, I feel like I've always just been weird.
Well, we're in the class together, because I feel like I'm weird all the time. I had this person over, and I have a Green Lantern ring, and it failed.
That's cool.
And they were like, well, what is that? I was like, my Green Lantern ring. And they were like, oh, that's cute. And I'm like,
oh,
hopefully that's not like you being mean in like a nice way. But
no, I have so many props at my place.
yeah, and you know, and that's what I came to realize. It's like, well, since I became a father, I do not take myself serious at all, because my son thinks I'm the most funniest, goofiest person in the world.
That's sweet. I love that.
Thank you. So I'm not going to pretend I'm anything besides what my son sees me as. So as you can see, I put up all my anime stuff. I have figures over there. I have comic
and I like
books.
that about you, how you're so like yourself.
For sure. And because it's like, love comes in different forms, but the forms that are more important, I think of like love as a seed. That seed is your self-love, and what sprouts out of that is different things coming from different people. But you can't do so unless you plant yourself into good soil, or you give yourself the time, the nutrients to sprout these other things that people can be like, oh damn, he's really loves himself, or you know, I admire this about him. Like you said, like it's inspiring for me to lose weight, and that's I love hearing that. But it had to have started with me. You know, I say this a lot on my podcast. I had to make a decision to pull my rearview mirror down and tell myself I forgive myself, until I believed it. And once I was able to forgive myself for what people have done to me and what I have allowed myself to do to other people, I gave myself a clean slate. Well, what am I going to put inside myself now in order to either be somebody's husband one day, be the best father, or be good at this? And that had to start with letting things go. It had to start with,
wow, so I had to start from the inside.
yeah, understanding who I want to be and what direction I wanted to go with. And I chose this lifestyle, and I'm happy with this. So going through high school, did you have friends, or were you a loner? How did that work out?
I was kind of a loner. There were two girls I would sit and eat lunch with.
And did you ever go to a rebellion phase? Because sometimes I know... No?
I was like goody two-shoes. I've never even been grounded before.
I wish we had groundings. We usually get spankings. That was the worst of times. But no, I mean, well, that knocks out some of my questions.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Our testimony.
Well, that's wonderful. You graduated high school. What did you do after that? You said you went to ORU.
Yeah, I went straight there for 4 years.
And what degree did you?
Graphic design.
Graphic design. Oh.
So ORU was cool. I don't recommend it for everybody because it's like a whole different lifestyle.
Okay.
But like, I grew up in the church, so that was like normal for me.
So I heard they have to like run miles and marathons.
Yeah, that's why if you meet an ORU student, most of them are in shape because we have like gym class starts at 7 a.m. bestie. You know what I mean?
God dang.
And they'll wear their Fitbits because you got to wear it that way. They know you actually worked out. Like they straight up almost didn't let me graduate because I failed a swimming test. Yeah, and you would think, oh, what does swimming have to do with your education?
Yeah.
Well, ORU believes in like mind, body, spirit, like whole person education. So yeah, gym is required.
you know what's beautiful about Christianity is Jesus walked on water.
He
so
did.
if I don't know how to swim, he got me.
You pray very well.
Well, if you see Jesus, guys, while you're swimming, I don't think you're alive anymore.
Oh, yeah.
We're just throwing that out there. So
meet him.
learn how to swim. But no, that's wonderful. So did you chase graphic designing once you got out, or okay, so what is one of the biggest or accomplishments that you've done in graphic designing? Because I had this guy on, he takes like plain white shoes and creates them to whatever people want him to do, and I was
on
like,
the computer
on like actual shoes. So he would like paint on them, and I'll have to send you some videos. He's really nice. His name is Ty.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like to paint shoes.
Yeah, so well, you guys will really enjoy like going back and forth with you guys' artwork, because he does phenomenal work. So is there anything like that you were like, dang, this is my most prized possession? Because I saw you were like in art galleries or different things like that. So what is one thing that Princess Destiny holds dear to her when it comes to her art?
Oh, probably my proudest achievement was my art show in February. It was the first one I've ever put on, and it was all by myself. It was the first African American produced and themed art show in the city of Skytook.
Oh,
so I was like so proud of that. Yeah,
that's phenomenal. I saw a couple and I was like, nah, she took pictures of these, there's no way.
Thank you.
No, for sure. And like realism to me is one of the most fascinating things, because it's like, I understand different people have different features, but it's like, how do you make this look so real?
Like,
and it blows my, I don't know if it's the blending.
I don't know. Sometimes that's why I love to film myself and make videos, because it just seems like you're coloring in a way. You know what I mean? Like it starts with the eye, like, oh, there's a nose, and the lip comes out, and you know what I mean? And I watch it and I'm just like, I don't know how I did that. I think about it a lot. The reason why I prefer to draw celebrities is because like I'm studying their face. You know what I mean? Like I'll just like know like Tom Holland has 4 teeth that show when he smiles. You know what I mean? Like I'll know things like that because I'm studying your face. Yeah. So it's just like it's kind of easier for me to draw celebrities and like real people in my life. And so yeah, I'm trying to get into more like landscapes or like abstract art or like doing something different, because you would think in my house it would just be like a museum of my stuff. Yeah. And it used to be, but then I realized that like most of the work I do are portraits. So I would like wake up in the middle of the night and I'd see like Tupac, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston staring at me, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this has to come down. Like, you know what I mean? They look so real. So yeah, so
that's hilarious. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the way, that's how you gloat without being over
humble brag.
I'm just going to put these down because I just do such a good job.
Yeah, Beyonce don't need to see this. Turn her around.
No, that's wonderful. And are you left-handed, or is that just the way? I noticed that. I'm not good at like how many teeth they showing, but yeah, I was like, oh,
you're very observant. Yeah, and you see all those different pencils I use and stuff.
Yeah, I was like, wow, she's left-handed. That's really cool, because I heard it's really hard like to smudge or
yeah, you do. That's how I'll have like a brown or graphite stain.
That's pretty dope. So you're going to Tokyo and Tulsa this year, and you're dressing up as what character again?
Oh, I'm going to be Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Exciting.
I'm excited.
See,
it's going to be my first like non-Disney cosplay.
Yeah, because that's Nickelodeon, right?
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah.
Somebody told me, I don't know if it's true, but they're making a live action of.
I heard about Avatar. That on Netflix.
Really?
They've like released some of the casting.
Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, because they're like brown, you know.
Oh,
so
really?
It's not going to be like the other one. Have you seen the other one with the white people?
I saw the movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
So I didn't like the movie. I feel like it was rushed. I feel like
the effects were cool. Like,
yeah,
whenever
for
they would
sure.
fight and firebend and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, wow, this looks really cool. But
Yeah, well, because I don't even know if they showed like the other benders. Like it was just the fire, water, and air.
oh yeah, you're right.
I think in the movie, and that's the hard thing. I mean, I am looking forward to the live action One Piece though.
Okay.
I think you're probably at the part where the movie's based off of, because I think they go all the way to Sanji. Have you met Sanji yet? The cook?
Oh, yeah, we met him a long time ago.
Okay, yes. So
I'm saying we, me and myself.
Yeah, me, myself, and I.
Yeah, I'm at the part where like they're at this island and there's like two giants and they're like having this eternal battle against each other and like, oh.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
I love the
good
One
memory.
Piece.
I was like, that's like 800 episodes ago for you.
But see, okay, so my friend, I had them on my podcast the last time, Cameron. I told him, I was like, yeah, man, I'm on episode 892. He was like, oh, this episode exactly. I was like, dude, there's no way you knew this
That is
by heart.
crazy.
Scared the hell out of me.
I
was
bet
like,
it did.
I was like, are you in my house?
brother.
No, so that's phenomenal. What about dressing up as these characters? Do they make you feel inspiring?
Yeah.
Because and I know some people dress how they want to and how they feel. I just try to look handsome. I don't know if I could dress up as some characters and look handsome, I would. But to you, is it just normal dressing as these princesses or as Moana because that's how you feel? Or did you have to get used to like the attention, like people staring at you?
Oh, definitely. You had to get used to it. It was like an adjustment. But now it's like if I go to Walmart and people stare at me, I'm just like, oh, this is normal. Like,
Yeah.
People will be like secretly like filming me walking by and stuff, or be like, oh, hey, can you film a video saying hi to my sister? She loves you. And I'm just like, okay. Like that
really
would be
dope.
weird to other people, but now it's just like, oh.
Yeah,
But I love it. I love working with kids because when my dad was a children's pastor growing up, so I worked with like them my whole life.
that's exciting. And I guess we can journey into that. It's like meeting these little kids. Like you said, you meet white kids, you meet all these ethnicities, and they're like, okay, well, she's a princess. I'm enjoying this party. Is there a time where you met a little girl who looked like you or somebody who didn't look like you that really inspired you to continue doing what you're doing?
Probably every time. Like, not to sound like, I don't know, it's going to sound like very cheesy, but I feel like children are like a representation of God's love. You know what I mean? Because they're just like so happy and pure and innocent, and they're just like, you know, having a good time. And so like when a little kid sees me and their faces light up, it's like they believe in magic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it just so like that inspires me to keep going and like doing what I do, because representation is like so important.
For sure. And I'm not sure if I said it on the podcast, but I truly believe like when people are like, oh, when we die, how is heaven going to be? And I was like, well, I think heaven is going to be like a child's happiness. Like you said,
That's sweet. Yeah.
yeah, just
God's
the,
love.
I mean, when me and my son went to the park yesterday, and he was for real thinking we were on a battleship, like turning the wheels.
Wow, his
and it's
imagination.
like, yeah, and he was like, I'm going to get sticks because we have to build a campfire. And to him, it was a campfire. It was hot when he put his hands in there. And I'm just
You're
like,
so creative.
right.
Like,
And I'm just like,
you were there.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was like, we're sinking. I'm like, no, daddy won't let it sink. He was like, we're sinking. I was like,
No.
well, I guess.
Okay, get a floaty.
Right. Like, he don't know how to swim, but he will jump in some water.
That is so cool. I love that about kids.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And that's what upsets me about growing up. You know, I heard this rapper, he was like, well, when we're children, people encourage us to walk, encourage us to talk, encourage us to do different things. But when we get older, that dream's stupid. Dressing up as characters is not age appropriate, or reading comic books as a 24-year-old is not.
You can't have fun.
Right. And it's like, why do we get to a certain point to where we are negative towards each other? And I feel like that's the work of the devil, showing us that look at all that you had as a kid. This is the real world. Why would God put you in this type of situation? Why would God have people that look like you be mean to you? Why would, and it's certain things that to me is a lie. Because when I podcast or when I meet all these people who want to be successful, I see the happiness. I see the kid in them. And I just feel like that's what I want to achieve on this podcast. You know, hopefully one day, I'm not famous, but hopefully people see this podcast and was like, wow, I'm similar to her. You know, I don't have
so you just want to inspire people.
Yeah,
basically.
I don't have a
love
testimony, but I have the love for other people that maybe has not have a good life.
Yeah.
You know, like, I didn't have the best life, but I've met people with way worse situations than I have. And a lot of people are either afraid to talk on the camera or don't have people to interact with in this certain manner. So I feel like my words and my experience could, I don't know, hopefully do something for them. I'm not the best person. I still have my days where I get upset with certain people that I need to eventually let go. But being true to yourself and being on the path of like happiness, I feel like eventually all that sadness and all that hurt will leave. Of course, being an adult, there's going to be bills, there's going to be struggle times, but
Yeah.
coming back to yourself and having that time of clarity, I feel like is the most beautiful thing ever. So, one inspirational thing that you would give to little girls who look like you, who want to inspire to be you, or even just want to be free and be a princess themselves. So
Oh, I
what would
don't
you
know.
say
I
to
guess
them?
it's like, I guess just like be yourself and like always stay true to who you are, because like a lot of people are like really into labels, like, oh, you're this, you're that. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to like conform to anything. Just like be like what naturally like gravitates towards you.
That is so true. That's a beautiful thing. I normally stop with one, but I want to hear another thing. So you had both parents, correct? Filled with love. I don't. So sometimes some people don't have an experience to like give encouragement to other people, but for the people that, or for the little girls who only have a mom or only have a dad, who don't have time for them or not showing them that love, what would you give to them to at least fill that little void of sadness in their life?
Oh, like with the princess thing?
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I was like, man, that question sounds good in my head. Hopefully,
No, you're fine. I was just like, I don't know. I think I just feel like blessed to be in the position that I'm in, to where like I love Disney and I love kids. So the fact that I'm given this gift to be able to combine both just to make a child happy, like my job is to make that kid smile.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just feel like that's the best job in the world.
That's really dope. Yeah, and that's why I watch anime, because
It makes you smile?
and cry, but it's
Aw.
like happy cry, because it's like, yes, the pain is there, the development is there, but if you continue to grind, you continue to train, you will be a Super Saiyan, or you will be
Yeah.
a Hokage one day. And you don't have to like really think, oh, I'm gonna be president, or I'm gonna be a super strong person. It's no, I'm going to be successful, I'm going to be whatever I want to be, because these characters showed me how to get there, even though they're not real, even though I could never or thank them. Just their presence alone made me a better person,
Yeah.
And again, that's why I don't see myself as a nerd. I see myself as an individual who loves what he does, and hopefully get paid one day.
Yeah. That's the dream.
But yeah, so I mean, that's all of the questions that I have. I really appreciate you coming. I don't know how far you drove, but I really appreciate you coming by, and hopefully we
No,
can
this
do
is
this
a lot
again.
of fun.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I love to come back.
Well, yeah. Again, from us to you all, may your pain be champagne.